22 photos of the toughest soldiers. But first, we asked you guys, if you were the leader of your own country, what would you choose for your standard issue rifle? Thanks Mako for responding in our 20 insane military photos video with the AS-50 caliber sniper rifle that we can see here in this photo. Good choice. Number 22, welcome to boot camp. Being tough is necessary for anyone who considers joining a branch of military, especially during boot camp. True toughness is often displayed during the first few months of intense training. Recruits must stay mentally tough as well. Within the first 12 hours of getting off the bus, this recruit gets the most stylish haircut in the platoon, or the only haircut. All the hair is shaved off by a trusty barber, and the transformation from civilian to soldier begins. Number 21, getting intense. You're not living in your mama's basement anymore, boy. No more watching Teletubbies and eating Fritos. You're in my house. Getting yelled at boot camp seems to go together like peanut butter and jelly. You better get used to waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. It's probably a safe bet that this drill sergeant will never bring you breakfast in bed. Number 20, climb that rope. Ever remember trying to climb a rope in gym class, but you were always that fat kid who can never make it up halfway? Well, you're in the Marines now, and physical training is about to get intense. Imagine having to do that after 100 push-ups in the dirt, then having someone yell at you to make it up faster. Just be sure not to fall, or your hands will end up with some serious Indian burns. Number 19, tree trunk teamwork. Learning how to work as a team while under extreme discomfort is one of the things that the drill sergeants try to ingrain into each and every soldier. Here we see one of those uncomfortable drills you'd have to do, and it includes a tree trunk and a few other recruits. Each person needs to carry their weight and not be the weakest link. Number 18, push-up party. In case you thought push-ups were bad enough, wait until you become part of the push-up human centipede. It's all about teamwork here, no matter the pain, the humiliation, or the uncomfort you may have to go through. You have to really trust the person in front of you won't pass gas, but either way, you can make a safe bet that no one smells good during boot camp. We can all tell this is a little bit too close for comfort. Number 17, barbed wire crawl. This is probably the most hated of all obstacle courses when enduring military training. It's not necessarily the hardest one, but many soldiers don't like it for numerous reasons. For one, it's quite slow compared to swimming or running, and two, if you mess up, you can expect a gaping wound slashed into your back. Tough soldiers like you see here are getting quite messy while crawling in the prone position. Number 16, barbed wire on fire. In the USA, our military training might seem like a cakewalk compared to some other places around the world, as we're about to see. The paramilitary police undergo a similar obstacle, but with one key difference. They light their barbed wire on fire while crawling below, and it also seems to be positioned much lower than they do here, increasing the likelihood of him catching on fire. Number 15, muddy water. These paramilitary police in South Korea also don't mind getting a little bit messy, and some of their training sessions involve doing belly flops in the mud pits like you see here in this photo. Number 14, getting chilly. Some places in the US require training in cold places like Cape May, New Jersey for the Coast Guard. But in China and other places, if it's minus 22 degrees, that's not stopping them from training. It's gotten so cold to the point where their eyelashes are covered in frost. Imagine each time you blink getting snow in your eyes. Not easy. Number 13, South Korea Special Forces. This soldier here from South Korea, equipped with an assault rifle, also is trained in icy conditions. If you were an enemy and saw something like this pop up from a frozen lake, you'd probably run in the opposite direction immediately. Number 12, joint exercise. This is what militaries like to do when they get together to have a party. The Americans got to join in on the Winter Wonderland Festival with South Korea during a joint military exercise that you see from this photo. Number 11, vampire training. How many other jobs offer you the chance to drink cobra blood? Well, the US military does, and this is something the recruiter needs to start informing potential recruits about. During a joint military exercise in Thailand, US Marines learn how drinking cobra blood could be an essential survival tool while being lost in the jungle. Drinking cobra blood still seems to be a better option than this next one. If you're thinking about joining the military in Taiwan, you might want to think again. The final stage of the 9-week amphibious training program, trainees have to crawl through 150 feet of jagged coral and rocks. And this guy here seems to be in pure agony. This has to be completed face down, and afterwards you have to wonder whether or not he regrets signing those papers at the recruiting office. Number 9, the gas chamber. Okay, if you guys can all link arms and form a single file line before we gas you, that'd be great. During boot camp in the US, recruits get to enjoy the pleasant experience of inhaling tear gas, normally pepper spray, probably for the first time. And here's how they look after. You're basically locked in there for about 30 seconds, and it's not uncommon to vomit or not be able to breathe. This is done so people know the importance of their gas masks and can trust that their pepper spray will work against enemies. Number 8. Pepper spray training. If the tear gas chamber didn't seem like fun enough, drill sergeants will also get to spray you in the face with pepper spray like we see here. Here in this photo, during military police training, Jenna A. Knapp has to maintain her composure after being sprayed in the face with pepper spray and simulate that she's fighting off an attacker. Number 7. After effects. This tough soldier here, First Lieutenant Zachary Cole, is suffering from inflammation from his eyes after one good pepper spraying. Basically, if you can imagine a pepper 450 times spicier than a jalapeno being grinded up and then sprayed in your face, that's what it's like. This gives military police confidence in their effectiveness of their less than lethal equipment. Number 6. Puppy Saver. This fearless soldier approached a group of truly ferocious puppies in Iraq who could have been heavily armed. He then goes on to stick his hand near their face, where they could easily rip off his fingers in one quick bite. There's no telling exactly how he worked up the courage to pull off this stunt, but it must stem back to his training when he was in boot camp. Number 5. Spetsnaz soldiers. Okay, we've made it to the top 5, where only the toughest of the tough can possibly survive on our list. These are the Spetsnaz, and they are from Russia, where cruel, torturous training is just an everyday occurrence. As a Spetsnaz, you have to endure through what's known as torture training. Crazy stunts like these are supposed to help ensure that a soldier doesn't give up secret information while being under investigation where he might be tortured. Number 4. Tomahawk Flip. Just hearing the name Spetsnaz struck fear into the hearts of many people around the world. These are some of the most ruthless and effective special forces in the world. Here we see one soldier perform a flip while managing to hit a target with his tomahawk. This could be the only way to kill a terrorist in some cases. Let's really hope we won't get in a fight with these guys. Number 3. Explosives training. Here in this short video clip, we're about to truly see how Spetsnaz are absolutely fearless, especially during explosives training. It's this man's job to disable this bus and whack it with an explosive stick of some sort. He hits the bus with the stick, and the explosion sends him flying. He's wearing a protective suit, so he turned out okay, but it takes some serious guts to pull off stunts like this. Number 2. Red Berets. You might have heard of the Green Berets in the US, but are you familiar with the Red Berets of Belarus? They also partake in some bizarre training that's not for the faint of heart. Here in this photo, we see a Red Beret give one heck of a headbutt through some flaming bricks. Number 1. Ring of Fire. It's difficult picking the number 1 out of all these crazy photos without any biases. But this photo of a Chinese Liberation Army soldier jumping through fire makes you really wonder what other intense training they must go through. This is during a gun demonstration in Hong Kong, and it's safe to say you won't be seeing any Americans performing circus acts like this. The rings they have to jump through aren't even that big, and one small move could be catastrophic.